So let's move, and we'll talk about Mario Elie, because Mario Elie, first of all, Mario Elie, if you my age and you was watching basketball way back, when I was watching basketball, I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon was one of my favorite players, man. So I'm watching the Houston Rockets. I'm watching that two-peat, that repeat. And I'm seeing Sam Cassell come in as a young rookie, killing in the playoffs. I mean, you could start him over Kenny Smith. I think he did sometimes, right? Robert Horry was a young buck as well, coming in phenomenal. And then they had this Mario Elie guy. Sheesh. I didn't know if Mario Elie was a shooter or a defender. I didn't know what he was, but he just made timely, clutch buckets. You think Horry was hitting clutch buckets? Mario Elie was as well, and Sam Cassell. Man, y'all gotta go watch. Y'all gotta watch those playoff runs with the Rockets. That was a very special team. But anyway, Mario Elie, I love to hear those guys talk, man. Vernon Maxwell is another guy. They're so honest and they're so raw. You got to catch some of these interviews with like Vernon Maxwell and Mario Elie. You got to catch interviews with guys from the 90s period. I mean, they drop gems. So this Willie D conversation that he had so much in it. I could have done the whole show just off Mario Elie stuff, right? But there's a couple of things I wanted to pick from it. And that was when he was asked about what he think about just generation and this current NBA climate that's going on. And he had this to say.
Nah.
Yeah. The NBA, are you cool with the trajectory that it's on right now?
The only thing I have a problem with is nobody play D no more. You got 7-foot guys want to shoot threes. Everybody switch all the time. Nobody fight over a pick. Everybody whine at the officials every play, like you get fouled every play. I just wish guys would just play. Love Steph Curry because he just hoop. Devin Booker, he just hoop. LeBron James, he just hoop. These dudes don't talk. They let their game do the talk. You know what I'm saying? Back in our day, nobody really talking that much. You know, Jordan let his game, Dream let his game, Duncan, quiet dude let their game do their game speak volumes, obviously. Even though I know Larry Bird was a big shit talker, but he back it up. You know, that's what, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever play against Bird?
Yes. Remember when I was Golden State, my first year in the league, we playing up in Boston, Will. Had a good game. They bust our butt. But I remember going down the lane and laying Robert Parrish. And Ryan Bird cussed him out. He said, you let that MF rookie lay you up again, MF. Yeah, Larry Bird, boy, was no joke, yo. He all these boys. Yo, don't let him come down the middle again.
Where does Larry?
So he said he got a problem, and it's not the first time I've heard one of the older guys have an issue with the fact that it's just common practice in the NBA. If you get screened, you just got to give up. Like if it's a 1-5 pick and roll, and I know my 5-man is Rudy Gobert cannot guard this dude that's running this pick and roll, but I'm still gonna switch because we just lazy in the NBA now. Let's just switch everything and let this dude just, may I have this dance with a 7'1" guy who got bad feet for the game winner, right? This is a normal practice in the NBA. I mean, we've seen it twice, Golden State and Cleveland. KD come down. Hey man, I wanna take this. LeBron's on me. Well, Steph, come give me a screen. And the small guy in Steph would just come on there and screen 6'9", 260-pound LeBron, and LeBron would just switch. And then let 7'1" Kevin Durant hit the game winner on a 6'4" J.R. Smith. Like, what are we doing? So he mentioned that. I'm glad he mentioned that, and I'm glad that people keep mentioning it, right? We lazy. The defense is not there. 7-footers are shooting threes. Ain't nobody want to post up no more. Like the rims are 10 feet tall, and you got a 7-feeter. I'm closer to the rim than anybody that's not 7 foot. So if you give me the ball down low and I'm good enough to score down here, especially if I have a mismatch, and most 7-footers who's coordinated and can score offensively got a mismatch. Look at Jokic and Embiid. If they're not playing Gobert, that's probably the only center in the league that can even do anything with Jokic and Embiid. And I don't think he can do anything with Jokic because he's so slight of frame, and Jokic use his body weight too well, right? He's too wide for and he goes straight in Gobert's chest. So unless you bring Dwight and DeMarcus Cousins back, like what 7-foot center is going to stop Jokic and Embiid? So they got a mismatch every time they step on the floor, right? But everybody else, if you screen and I'm a point guard and you're a 7-footer and they switch the screen and I get your man guard me as a point guard, but you get a mouse in the house, the way they're teaching the NBA now is that 7-footer needs to move to the 3-point line to open up the paint so that small point guard can dance on the 7-footer. And most of the times the 7-footer is going to back off of them a little bit, give them some space, and they're going to shoot a step back 3. Most of the times it's a step back 3. They don't even get to the hole, right? So that's the frustrating thing that he mentioned. Here's the other thing that he mentioned.
He was just in Jordan. He was a guy and wouldn't back down. Well, our team, none of us backed down from them. Nobody was scared of him, We love competing against them, That's why you're in the NBA for it. All these guys want to join each other well and play with each other. No, I want to beat you. I want to beat you. LeBron, you say you the GOAT. Why you joining Bosh and, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that in the 90s. Like Dream calling Jordan up. You want to link up? And calling Bird and Magic up. Y'all want to link up and play? You hear those old school dudes talk. They don't want to. I want to beat you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to join you. These boys want it easy right now.
They want everything easy. Not only they can't even fight over a screen, they can't even compete against guys that's on their level. Like, if I really wanted to be the GOAT and I really wanted to show people that I was the best, I want you to point to every, it's like when you go to prison, right? If you're trying to really make a name for yourself, well, I don't know this to be true. I just heard it. I've never been in prison, right? But, you hear about this. If you really want to make a name for yourself and establish yourself, go and punch the biggest, baddest dude in the mouth and earn your respect, right? Imagine going in there and saying, yeah, you know what? I really don't want the respect, but let me go and negotiate with the biggest, baddest dude in here, and then let's go beat up somebody else, tag team, and beat them up. And then I'm going to turn around and say, I'm the biggest, baddest dude in here because I joined up with the biggest, baddest dude and we beat somebody up. So now I'm the GOAT, right? That's basically what he said. He said, the other biggest, baddest dude was Wade. The other biggest, baddest dude was Bosh. The other biggest, baddest dude was Melo. He tried to join and team up with all of them. So he went into the prison and said, I'm not going to fight them. I'm going to join forces with them and go fight the other weaklings, the guys that's not on our level. I want to go fight the Nashes. Nash ain't in the GOAT conversation. I am. Wade was almost on. He was going in that direction. Wade, LeBron, and Melo was all on the same level, right? And then LeBron kind of, he kind of got a little above them, and then he joined forces with them. And man, we couldn't even see them duke it out. They just ruined all of it. Joint forces, and now all we got to do is fill in the spaces with narratives that the media is giving us. And we call LeBron. He say he's in the GOAT debate, right? So I like that Mario Elie said all of that, man. And I like that he said LeBron's name. And I'm gonna open the phone lines up. And now it's y'all turn to call in and tell me what y'all think about Mario Elie and what he said about LeBron and what he said about teaming up and how this generation is a little weak and how They're not fighting for anything. They're not fighting over screens on defense. They're not playing defense. They're not in the post. They're not going and fighting the guys that they're supposed to be fighting against. They're teaming up with them instead. You know, all of that stuff, man. And then we can even go back to Julius Peppers and what he said about Michael Jordan at his Hall of Fame speech, man. All this stuff we can have a conversation about. The phone number is on the screen and the phone lines are open. And the first call is Funky Town. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, man? How y'all doing? How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. How was my talking points today, man?
You had some good ones. I mean, you made a couple of out of pocket statements, I think, on that football basketball thing.
Okay,
but,
okay. Well, let's no. Let's address that first. Let's address the football basketball.
No, the only thing I would say is like Peppers, Gonzalez, they played both sports in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with Peppers. Now, you could clearly see when he played basketball, his skill level wasn't at the level to go into the – well, he would have struggled going into the NBA. He would have to work to be like an Anthony Mason. But he had certain moves, especially on the post. He had certain moves. Defense, he was on that. But his offense game wasn't – and you're right. There's a big difference between football and basketball when it comes to the skill level. But see, the thing is, I think people are misunderstanding about football is football requires a price. Your body is going to take a beating in football.
Of course.
You're taking a beating. Back then, especially back then, you're taking a beating in practice.
Yeah, but that's why everybody play basketball if they can.
No. That was what I was. That's exactly what I'm emphasizing. If you got to also think about guaranteed contract versus the insecurity of football, of going into football. So you get hurt in football, they'll cut you. Whereas in basketball, you got, for the longest time, that they've had more security, they've had more pay, everything like that. That's why Charlie Ward did what he did and stuff like that. So no, I mean, I should say you were out of pocket. I'm just saying there were a lot of things on why people who got the ability to play basketball, the size, the body, whatever, to play basketball, tend to go that route once they specialize. They start specializing, especially around high school. At least when I was in school, they started specializing around high school. Because you had parents who were hit to the game like, I'm not letting you risk it on the football field. You know, things like that. You had people who had the ability to play football, and you're right, they'll do that fallback. It became a thing.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it wasn't even basketball players first. It was what was that cat that played for the Raiders? He was a sprinter, Olympic sprinter. Anyway, they receivers. It was always the gateway for receivers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, you're on it. But like with this, I'm listening to looking at some of these comments and stuff. These broad sexuals talking this mess. You know, they got to ask themselves some serious questions. You know, they look like Drake fans to me right now. No, dead serious. They just name me the Jason Terry level player that busted Michael Jordan's behind in the final. if you can find a player that's a Jason Terry, matter of fact, any player really, but just give me a Jason Terry player that busted his behind and made him nut up in a final. Now, if you can do that, if you can at any point in time, you can go, well, this guy right here, this is the George talk, right? And he did this to Jordan in the final, and Jordan was number 3 in scoring on his team in this final series. And if you can do that, then we can maybe start having a conversation about something that's really not a debate, because there really is no debate. There was no player before Jordan that was Jordan. Like, there was no player that played it as hard as he played on both ends, right? There was, and the aggressiveness and the will to win. That even, I mean, Kobe is the closest thing that came after. And like you said, Kobe said, I got that from him. I called him.
Yeah.
He gave me this advice. He showed me this. And again, Kobe had a killer instinct, without a doubt. That's not phony. But this stuff, like, I mean, why are we really still having this debate? And what Mario said, that was absolutely true. Like, thank God. Because the thing, I think that, like, those old heads feel disrespected. Like, I know how much work we had to do fighting over screens.
Right.
And man to man.
Right.
And the effort we had to put, because you couldn't leave your teammate. Like, you know, think about if you're the dream and you're down there in the post and you dealing with David Robinson. And now all of a sudden you got Sean Elliott coming off without anybody stopping.
Yeah.
Now you got them both coming at you.
I still remember my coach in middle school and high school. We couldn't even play zone until we were locked down man-to-man defenders. He was like, I'm not about to spoil y'all and let y'all be lazy.
Getting to play the zone.
By
you
playing
got to play
zone.
zone when they're trying to save your leg.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for the whole game. Like, you got to it'd be a call. You got to do this.
Yeah.
Boxing one, whatever you're gonna do, but then after that, lock them down.
So imagine a professional level team saying, "Look, man, just give up on every screen. If they set a screen, just switch. Don't fight over none of them." Like
how many times
you have to fight over those screens, man. Like, they're not fighting over no screens no more.
Right. And again, your boy, what's his name? They called on Friday. What's that dude?
Scarface,
the Latino giving us all this,
Gizmo.
Yeah, Guillermo. Yeah, we supposed to support, you know, a poo butt because he's black. Nah.
Yeah.
No. Not when we seen what's for real. Not when we seen the real deal.
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's fact.
But no, hey, y'all hit that like button. Loving the show, brother. And I'll holler at y'all later.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. All right, let's get one or two more phone calls in. Phone number is on the screen. He made a good point though. And yeah, I mean, like, I just don't know how the default decision on defense on a pro level is to switch. Knowing I'm about to put this non-defender on this great player, I'm just gonna give up on the screen and switch. It's almost like they're asking permission. Hey, can I have this mismatch? And the defense is saying, yes, take this mismatch. Like, they're asking permission because the screens don't even be real screens, and they're not even sending real screeners over here to screen them. They're sending guards over here. They're sending Steph over here to screen big players. Big. I mean, like, if you don't run through Steph's chest at least once, and let him know that you won't be setting no screens on me. I'm 7 foot. Ain't no way. Caller from Missouri, what's up?
What's good, man?
What's up?
Shit, I've been watching your show for a minute, man. I've been wanting to call. Shit, well, been at work, but I catch you every time. You be spitting facts, man.
Yeah.
Especially about Kobe. I'm a huge Kobe fan, and he ain't letting nobody take that main player off no screen.
No.
Nobody. He's going through everything. He'll run through that screen before he do it.
Facts. I mean, he did it in the Olympic game when they played.
I know
Spain.
That's what I'm saying. He'll run through it before he let somebody else take it, especially if he's big.
Exactly.
Especially if he got Rudy Gay on his back arm.
Exactly.
He gonna let him defend the. He ain't letting Shaq step up. He defending the rim. I gotta take it.
Yep.
But I just wanted to call in and say, man, you spitting facts. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
My name's Vaughn, by the way.
All right, Vaughn. I appreciate that, big dog.
For sure.
All right. All right. Last call. I might can sneak in two more if they're quick calls. Last call. Oh, he said, let's hear your examples of different coaching, my guy. Different coaching of what? Something different than switching the screen? Is that what you had? Call in and tell me what you're talking about. You said hear my examples of different coaching on defensive philosophies when it comes to a high screen. I don't know. Let me know what you're talking about. If that's what you're talking about. Caller from Indiana, what's up?
How's it going? It's been a while since I called in, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, brother. What's up?
All right. I'll be brief as I can, man. I've been there, chat, man, and you know, I love your take love your talking point. It's so hard to be in a chat, man, with gross ignorance of some of these people who are LeBron fans, man. And what they don't understand is this. No one really dislikes LeBron. He's an all-time great player, but his fans are so egregiously ignorant, and not all of them, but a vast majority of them, to a point where it's just gross, man.
Yeah.
You know, they just fail, you know, disbelief to, you know, all these different things. You know, you talk about him joining Miami. Dwayne Wade was a champion before, you know, LeBron came to Miami. You know, you talk about all the greats that talk about the fight and how hard it was for them to overcome, you know, certain, you know, obstacles that was in their way, whether it was Jordan with the Pistons, or you can go on and on with this. You know, they had something that they had to accomplish. They had to work hard for it. They had to work hard for it to be. And for him, because he couldn't do it, he had to get the super team, and he had to not acknowledge that to try to somehow support his greatness. And it's like, greatness doesn't work that way. You know, accomplishing something doesn't work that way. You have to work for something. And when you work with something and build something, it builds your character. And that's the problem with LeBron. You know, he's an all-great talent, but he does have a genuine character issue. If you look at it from a basketball standpoint, not his personal stuff, keeping it strictly basketball. That's the issue. Like you're saying with Mario Elie. You know, he talked about how hard these players have to work, whether it's the trash talking or whatever it is, to get to a point where they crossed that bridge, where they became great. They overcome whatever obstacle they have. And no matter how much you talk about all these quote unquote longevity stats when it comes to LeBron, he didn't do it organically. You can't overlook that if you're a basketball player.
Yeah. I mean, or as far as organically, I will say I respect the Cleveland ring a little more than I respect the Miami rings. I mean, well, let me back up. I respect all of his rings except the bubble. I respect all of his rings. I respect all of his rings, but when you compare it, like, because he wants to be compared with MJ. When you compare him to MJ, the only ring that's, you know, respected in that light is the Cleveland ring. But you know, because if you look at the normal progression of a superstar climbing the mountain to get to the top, he comes in as a rookie. The team realizes how good he is, and then they start to build around him. And when they build around him, they got to find him a co-star. They got to find him a coach that's going to put in a system, and then they have to surround the star, the co-star, and the coach with role players, and then they have to play together for 1, 2, 3 years to build chemistry and identity, and then they go out to fight and compete. It's almost like if you go to boot camp and you learn one thing, and then you go somewhere else and you learn how to shoot, and you do all that stuff before you go to war. Like, it's a lot of things you got to do before you go to war. What LeBron was doing is skipping all of that by saying, give me all these great players, because when you Michael Jordan, you get Scottie Pippen, you don't know he's gonna be great. You have to help him achieve that. But it's different when Wade can make himself great, AD can make himself great, Bosh can make himself great, Kyrie can make himself great, Kevin Love can make himself great, and then you handpick all of those guys to join you. That's different. And then you get to skip the grind of the years it took for Pippen to go from a guy that'll sit out a game for a migraine, or a guy that was averaging 7 points a game, or a guy that was getting bullied by the Pistons. It takes time to turn him into what he turned into. And LeBron skipped all of that. He's never took someone and turned him into an all-star borderline superstar, top 50 player, Hall of Fame player. He's never done that. He's handpicked Hall of Fame players. So yeah, he is not respected the way Michael Jordan's is respected. And with Kobe Bryant, he wanted to be respected the same way as Michael Jordan. So he volunteered to separate from Shaq, so he can go through that same grind of finding his co-star in Pau Gasol and getting his coach in field, and then putting a system in, and then building with those guys and going out and getting his back-to-back championships. You get what I'm saying? So at least Kobe did it. He realized that if I stay with Shaq, they're going to look at me different. I want to be looked at like Mike, so let me separate from Shaq and build it the hard way. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with that. Another thing that I have issue with is how they try to conflate, these weird arguments. Like, for example, Magic won with Kareem when he was a rookie. However, Kareem was coming out of his prime because Magic was entering his prime. So it's not the same argument.
Right.
When you got folks that are 1, 5, and 7, in the same draft class in their prime that you have on your team. That's not the same thing. So when I say organic, it's organic of situations. Magic can help who the Lakers draft, or you can go with all these other different teams who can help, who they draft. But this was planned, targeted collusion for, these all-time great players in their prime to be on a team because he don't want to go through the grind. And for me personally, the only part of LeBron's legacy that I respect is everything before he went to Miami, and no one can talk me off that list.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'm with you on that, but thanks for the call, man. Let me move on.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks. Yonder Cyber, you made two good points. You said he gave the Cavs 7 years. That's true. He gave him 7 years, and he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't get it done. All right, he gave him 7 years, couldn't get it done. Right, and he realized that, man, my time is running out. I'm not gonna be able to catch Mike. I ain't even got my first ring yet. Right, and if I play anybody in the West in the finals, I'm getting swept. Right, so I ain't even got my first year's at ring yet. I'm at 7 years. Mike got his ring by his 7, 8 season maybe. I'm behind the power curve. I can't catch Mike like this. Then that's why he cheated the system. So yeah, you're right. He gave Cleveland 7 years. He tried to do it Mike's way and couldn't do it. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Right? It would have been more respected if he was able to do it Mike's way. He tried Mike's way, couldn't do it. So he went and started cheating the system, and then he's been cheating the system ever since then. And you made another good point too. What did you say? I seen the comment. Shoot, there you go. He handpicked Gasol. Sure, he handpicked Gasol. However, what do you have Gasol ranked at all time for his position? Right, because people got Wade ranked top 5 by his position. Gasol not top 5 power forward. He probably not even top 10. Right, Wade is a top 75 player. Gasol is not. Right, AD was a top 75 player. Gasol is not. Kyrie should have been a top 75 player, right? But the NBA got something against him. Gasol is not. Dwight should have been a top 75 player, but the NBA got something against him. Gasol is not. Right, so getting a co-star on Gasol's level, that Gasol is on Bosh and Love's level. Those was LeBron James' third, number 3 options. So LeBron James was able to handpick he didn't handpick a Scottie Pippen type player. He handpicked a Kobe type player, and Wade, AD, Kyrie. Those guys was on that level, right? And then he also went and got his Scottie Pippen. Wade and Bosh could have done it by themselves. They could have. Wade and Bosh is similar to Jordan Pippen or Kobe Gasol, but and you add LeBron to it, that's overkill. That's a super team. That's what that is.